Hey, what's up everyone? Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye here, and one of the biggest things, especially in the past year and a half that I've gotten into is street photography, and that's really what I post a lot on my Instagram and some things from events and weddings and such, but I've really gotten more of a headway and confidence in street photography. So I want to share some of the C's in street photography to see if I can really help you learn more about it, to understand more what to look for. By all means, I'm not saying I'm an expert and a master at it, but here's some of the stuff that I learned. You may have heard some of these before, but let's see if I can add some more and really make a connection to see if I can help out you get over your confidence and fear in street photography. And in no particular order, I think there's like 7 or 8 of these or however many it turns out to be. I'm gonna start off with camera, and obviously that's important because you need it to make the moment. You need it to capture whatever you need. But it's really important to be smart with what you're bringing. I mean, you can use anything. I mean, there's even times where I use my Nikon D750 because it has the tilt screen. I can look down into it. But then there's times where I use my iPhone 7 Plus because it's a little more discreet, it's compact, and you really just don't want to draw a lot of attention to yourself. Or maybe you do. Maybe that's your shtick. Maybe that's how you get the confidence, is people to see you, slapping a GoPro to your head or something like that. But I found it best for me is to be very minimalistic and simplistic by just taking what I need, be it a wide angle lens is how I like to shoot some of my stuff, and a camera, and that's really about it. I don't have big bags. You can use whatever you want. Just smart about how you're doing it, because there's other people who see the gear and it does become intimidating to the people that you're trying to photograph. So be smart with your gear. Characters, and that's what are you trying to tell? What object, what person, what subject is the character in your story? Why are you telling it? Why should I care as a viewer looking at this photo? Why are you sharing it? So there's got to be something interesting about this character that you're photographing, be it what they're wearing, what their personality is showing off to you, the story that they're trying to tell to the world. That's one of the biggest things to convey in street photography is the character. It could be this fly older man walking down the city wearing a big blue suit or something like that. He obviously wants to tell a story, and that is a character that you can incorporate in your story. Pick a character, really make us grasp why you're telling that story. I kind of blend both of these together, and it's contrast and composition. I think one of the most important elements that gets downplayed in street photography is your composition. Now, you've always liked to see things in threes. I mean, triangles in photography are absolutely great, but if you can get threes of things, be it the street with the puddle, with the person walking, and the kid in the background or something like that, you have 3 different elements in your photo, be it, there's a cafe stand with someone standing there, there's a stand itself, there's the desolate, there's not a lot of people around. That also tells another story itself. So if you can compose the image the way you want to go wide, you're telling a broader story, you go really tight, you're telling that person's story. I think that's one of the biggest things to contrast whatever your characters are doing and the story that you're trying to tell. So really think about your composition, and sometimes you get something out of the blue and you weren't really composing it the way you thought, but to really think about it and help tell the story, it's an important key. As you see, a lot of these tie into everything, but what is your connection to this photo? What is your connection to what you want to photograph? Be it, what's the connection with the character to your composition and all that kind of stuff? What is the connection? What are you feeling? What is intriguing about the shot? What is the story? I think that's also one of the biggest things as well. Developing the connection along with the story about whatever you're telling. Weave the web here, and I think that's an important key to add as well. I think these 2 C's go by hand in hand, and that is being able to get close and being able to develop courage in this. And that's really one of the biggest things, is to being able to get over the fear of street photography and approaching someone. To get close to someone is easier to tell the story of that person. I think one of the biggest sayings is, if you're not close enough, you're not, if you can't give it the story, you're not close enough. And that's absolutely true. The closer you can get to a subject, the more the viewer and yourself can relate to what's going on. You can see through their eyes. Like, for example, Brandon Stanton of Humans of New York, I just have the book over there, it reminded me, he does this very well. He gets close. I mean, he does do street portrait photography. He does get candids, but he will ask. But he does get close, which helps in that street urban look. And I just think it's a good example of that. I mean, you can go to like Henry Cartier-Bresson, all that kind of street photographers in the past, the masters, and really see that as well. And that's one of the most important things. And to really get over your fear, you have to do this stuff. And once you do it, it just becomes second nature and you won't worry about it anymore. And one of the best things I found, and John Free said this, and it's essentially what he'll do is, when he was very intimidated, he'll go up close to someone, and I've used this myself, and he has something called the 20-degree rule. So what he'll do is, or the 20-degree move or something, so he'll go up what he wants to take the photo of, be it far away or close, and as soon as he snaps the photo, he'll turn 20 degrees and act like he's taking a photo of something else. And you can use that in a lot of your candid photography as well. So developing that courage to get over that is absolutely key to street photography. One of the last C's is to actually capture. That makes obvious sense. You got to take the photo. But one of the biggest things, and I'll relate it back to the camera C, is that you need to know your gear inside and out. Being able to know what focus you're using, what settings you have, and being able to do it in a quick fashion so that way you're not just up and you're losing attempts because people aren't really engaging because they see you have your camera like that. Being able to quickly go up, snap the shot, and look down and move away is absolutely a big deal to get actually great, realistic, unposed street photography. So learn that. Know your gear inside and out. Capture what you want. It's the moments that you see. Photos for other people when they should be yourself. And I actually am throwing a fake C in here, and that is to see it yourself, C-E-E, and to take something that you want to take and just not to post something for likes or post it just to please someone else. Capture the moment you want to do. I know one of the biggest things in street photography is that people will say, well, you don't want to take things that you think is a waste, or you know that it'll be a waste. There's some times where I got stuff where it might be a little bit blurry, but it told a story, and it didn't go to waste. Now, there are burners where it's completely out of focus and you know it's not good, it's not a keeper, absolutely get rid of it. But if you think that it could be something and you thought you told the story the best you did, or maybe you just missed it, I still recommend taking the shot anyway. It doesn't do any harm. Memory is cheap. So there are the 7 or 8 or several C's of street photography, and it'd be interesting to see what you guys and girls have to say below as well. I really like street photography. It's become something that I just really like, storytelling and just finding the candid moments out in public and just being able to share what I see to everyone as well. It's just something that's been fun, and it's a great stress reliever as well. So let me know your thoughts. Are there any other C's of street photography that you can throw down below? Let me know. Or any other tips and everything like that. Let me know if you want to hear more about street photography. Thank you so much for watching. Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye. As always, keep an eye out.